Good morning and welcome to the craft room. I'm Ellie Barnes. I'm coming to you a little bit earlier than normal today because today we have a special function or a special event happening for Stampin' Up! Demonstrators who will be all joining around the world, a live Zoom, so that we get to see some of the new things that are about to come and get some new knowledge and experience that we can share with you. So that's why it's a bit early and I've rushed it a bit. So I'm sorry if I've had to get you out of bed early, but grab a cuppa and sit back. I'm going to show you this card and then I'll be off because 10 o'clock I need to be ready for the Zoom. All right, so let's get down to the desk and get straight into it and have a look at what we're looking at today. So let me just turn you up to the ceiling. It's an exciting view, I know. And there we are, there's the desk. Now we're looking at this lovely suite today. Oh, I better make sure I'm going live. Yes, so it looks like it. So we've got this lovely suite today and it's called Florals in Bloom. And this is just in the catalogue. It's got lots and lots of pages, very bright, very colourful. It is concentrating on the new colours that are in, which are the Strawberry Slush, Darling Duckling, Timid Tiger, Cloud Cover, and Secret Sea. Oh, I'm getting there with them all. But you can see the papers from here, it's very bright, very exciting little set. Here are some of the papers. Here's what the paper looks like. I'm not going to go through them all with you today. It has matching bling, which is all in the in colours, and it comes with 2 stamp sets and 2 dies. So it is one of the more expensive ones because it's got 2 stamp sets and 2 dies, but they do go together really, really well. And the papers are fantastic. They're bright. They've got lots of florals, but on the back they've got a muted side, or not necessarily muted, but a pattern side, so that you can mix and match. Really great set. I'm concentrating on the dies and the stamp sets today. So let's get started straight away. I'm going to bring in, well, I'll let you have a quick look at these just closer. So here you've got the stamp set. It's a two-step stamping. So the flowers stamp on top of the base flower. The same here, here, and here. And you've got a stem for 3 or a stem for 1. And it cuts out all those, plus it cuts out a great big flower, some leaves, a great big leaf, stems. So you can do lots of mix and matching. And this one is words. Now I'll just pull this aside because we run out of space, don't we? We'll put that aside. This is mix and match with that set. Again, you've got 1 stem and some flowers. You've got a pattern piece. You've got some leaves. You've got some sayings. You can do let joy bloom, bloom where you planted, have a lovely day, it's a lovely day, lovely hello, all sorts of things. The bloom and the lovely cut out in 2 layers, which I will show you. And this cuts the flower out and the leaves out. So exciting sets that you can do lots with. So we're going to bring the trimmer in. I'm just going to do a basic card size. So I'm cutting the cardstock in half by cutting at 14.8. And I'm going to fold it over. So it's just a standard card size. And then I'm going to cut 2 panels, one for inside and one for the front, in basic white. That's Summer Splash. Now I am using colours that are in the set, but it will look a bit different because I'm not going to use the paper. So this is 1/2 centimetre smaller. It's 10 centimetres by 14.3. This bit is 1 centimetre. We're going to keep that we'll need that piece. So I'll just pop that aside there. Now I could have used a piece of the paper, but I decided I was going to stamp my own background. I saw, and I can't remember the lady's name now, the demonstrator's name. Another demonstrator did this in monotones and it was beautiful. I loved it. I wanted to do something similar. I was so impressed with how it looked on her card, but I didn't want it to be mono. So I'm using two colours and I'll bring my chamois in. I'm using the Summer Splash to go with the card base and I'm using Garden Green. So I'm just got that little leaf set that was in with the words and I'm just going to stamp it higgledy-piggledy. Well, that was a bit, don't want it to look too we need to go off the card a bit, don't we? Probably one there, and let's put one coming in there, and then I'm going to clean it and I'm going to swap over, and I'm going to swap them because otherwise I'll stick it in the wrong one, I know. And I'm going to put one here and maybe one up like that. Doesn't have to be perfect. Oh, that's not perfect. In fact, I don't like that. I'm sorry. I slipped and made a mess. I'm going to quickly start again. That's why you have two sides to cardstock, isn't it? Let's see how quickly we can do it. I still find this a little bit, it's not something I do a lot of, is this stamping all over to create a design. And I must admit, I do find it a little bit difficult to get it to work, or a little bit out of my comfort zone, but that's what Stampin' Up's about, isn't it? Or stamping, is we go out of our comfort zone a little bit and we create something different. And I must admit, when I finished it, I was pretty happy with the results. So I'll put another one down here to bring the colour in. Couple up here. One here. And one in here. So that's that done. Now I want to match inside the card a bit to it. So I'm just going to do a little bit along, can't do it properly either. I'm rushing a bit because I know I've got a bit to do and I want you to see what we can create, but I need to be finished around 10 o'clock. So, but we'll just keep going. One there. That'll do for inside the card. So we'll just put everything aside. And let's glue, oh yes, we can glue these onto our card. One on the front. Isn't it great? Cardstock has two sides. You make a mistake, you can turn it over and start again. And one inside. Now, a lot of what I'm doing today is going to be die cutting. So I'll show you what I'm going to cut out. I've got my different colours here. Now I'm going to cut out the word bloom. Now it comes in two sizes. This larger one with the more holes in it is the base, and this goes on top. So I'm going to put the base on the dark colour and the top here. And then, it's this one. Well, let me show you. Through the magic of television, we'll pull those aside. Through the magic of television, I have these. Now, normally, pardon me, that's eating breakfast in a hurry. Normally, I show you the die cutting, but not today. Because I'm rushing through this and trying to get you a chance to see the entire card made before I have to go. I wanted you to see that you can cut these two out. They fit on top of each other. To make life easy, I have put adhesive sheet on the back of the cardstock. So that'll fit on there. So what I'll do, I'll get this bit ready to put on our card. I find if you just, probably on a thicker bit, this end, if you get your pick underneath, you can pull that off quite easy. And then we just lay this. I start at one end, and it's not cooperating. It never does when you want to hurry. And I get my B on. And then I do each letter in turn so that I know it's fitting on right. Because particularly the M will stretch out. So I just go slowly along until I get to the end. And then I have the word bloom. So that's that bit that needed to be cut out. But there's more. So I'm going to cut out also the flowers. And I want to cut out, this is a great die. It cuts 3 flowers out at once, or you could layer them up. So I'm cutting out some flowers in, this is Berry Burst. I'm cutting out the leaves, which come from here, in Garden Green. I'm cutting out the stems, the set of 3 stems, in Summer Splash, and in I've gone blank, what's it called? Rich Raspberry. I was going to call it an old name. No, that is the old name, Berry Burst. I'm going to cut out, these are the bases of the petals, so I'm going to cut out that. Now I need 3 of those, 3 of those, 4 of those, and 4 of those. That would take a while. So through the magic of television, I've done it all for you. So we'll just pop all that aside, out of the road. When you cut them out, you've got these pieces. Now I'm going to start with my leaves. And I want to give it a more 3D look. So I'm just dabbing with the daubler onto the end of the leaves. And it makes that a little bit darker. It's probably very hard to see, but the leaves are a little bit darker on the ends then, and it just gives more life to the picture. And I'm going to do the same, not in that colour really. I've just dabbed it in the green, we'll just clean it on there. With the petals. Now this is self-colouring, or I'm staying within the colour. I'm just using the ink of the same colour. So that was the ink of the Garden Green, on Garden Green. This is Berry Burst on Berry Burst. I'm doing both the top and the bottom, and you'll see that reasoning in a sec. So I'll lift that up so you can sort of see, hopefully, the colour difference. So you can see that, oh, my hands are shaking. You can see the colour difference in those ones. Now the reason I'm doing that is so that when I put the petal bit on, it gives it more definition. Come on. And I've put adhesive backing on the back of that as well, just to make my life easier. Now these petals and these petal bases, if you, let's have a look, where are they? Let me grab them quickly. They're different sizes on the bottom and different sizes here. But I've actually played with them and mixed and matched them, and it hasn't been a problem at all. So don't stress too much if you haven't got the right one on the right one. So they're my pieces that I need, and through the magic of television, I have heaps done for you because we need them done. So they're all ready to go. The bloom is ready to go. But I want it on a background that sits in front of that. So I'm going to use the arches. And I'm going to cut out a white and a summer splash arch. Now I'm using the 4th arch and the 5th arch to cut those out. And again, through the magic of television, I've done them. It's pre-prepared. Normally I do all this cutting with you, as you know, but today I've pre-prepared so that we can move along. So I'm first going to glue the white arch on here. And then I'm going to grab some dimensionals. And I'm going to layer this up onto the card. You know me, I like to put enough dimensionals on it so it's not going to sag. Last thing you want is it to be sagged, or if you're putting it through the post, it's got squashed and just won't sit up nicely. So I am generous with my dimensionals, but that's the reason. If I'm going to make a card, I want it to stay nice for the person to receive it. Let me put a lid on here for the minute before it all dries up. And I'm just going to pop this on here. So there's my background. Now I could have used a piece of paper, a piece of designer series paper, but I love how it brings the colours in that I'm going to use. Now I do need this. I'm going to put some leaves on. Now I'm not too fussed with putting lots of glue because this is a strong glue, and I just want to get it to sit a little bit on there. We'll put one in the middle, and this is just going to be the base under the flowers. Again, I'm just putting a little bit of glue on each leaf. With this glue, it is strong, so you don't need a lot. And if you put too much on, all you end up with is a mess of the glue going everywhere. So I try not to put too much on. And lucky last. Oh no, there's one more, isn't there? Last up the top here. stay there. And I'm going to have one point down to the bottom. So, because I want this to look like a garden. So there we go, that's starting to build our garden. Now I want to build my flower to go in the centre. So I'm starting with my base. I've got 3 lots, I'll get 3 petals, 3 different ones. They're 3 different ones. And to make my life easy, I'm going to use glue dots at the back of these. So I just put a glue dot in. Now you don't want it to go over the edge, so just fold it over and stick it on that little bit of green. I have done it with a dot of glue, wet glue, but I have found that you need a few minutes to let it dry before you lift them up. And I thought this actually works quite well. My fingers have got glue on them. Seems that happens every time I make a card. And this one. Okay. And then with the glue dots on the back, I'm just going to take each of my flowers and I'm going to just stick them on in place where I want them. And the glue dots do make it so much easier. And so much less getting glue stuck to your fingers. Okay, so there's my flowers all stuck to their stem. And I'm just going to put some I'm doing dimensionals on the... Where did I put my dimensionals? I'm only just going to put one on each flower. I'm stuck. Take my card, bring my card over, and I'm just going to spread them. They sit on top of each other. I'm spreading them out a little bit so that they're not leaning on the top of each other. You can go up a bit. So there's 3 flowers on my card. I decided I wanted to put a couple of flowers down here, but the stem is for 3. So all I'm doing is cutting off one of those. Now you can save that and just use it on an individual flower. So I'll pop that aside there. I'm going to get my little glue dots. Again, put them on the stem. Thank you, finger. And again, grab 2 flowers. Oh, one of those has gone haywire. And pop that one on there. And this one on here. Now when you cut out, you get 3. So this could even be put on the envelope or something else. And again, I'm putting these on dimensionals. So I'll just cut these edge ones. And these are going to go down the bottom here. bit up like that. So there is my little garden. And to give it a bit of excitement, I'm going to put some sparkle on my flowers. They're glistening as if they've got a bit of dew on them. And I'm going to grab these and put some sparkles on too. Oh, these two. This is two that I've prepared earlier, just exactly like that. And this can go inside the card in a minute. So we'll just put some sparkle on there to dry. Now this is Winker Stella. I love it. It just gives a bit of sparkle to everything. And if I hold it up, you'll see. And just catches the eye and the light when it's sitting on the shelf, the mantelpiece we used to call them. All sorts of names it had. But these days, I guess it's the bookcase or the sideboard or the television stand. Now, I'm putting on here some dimensionals. I'm using the minis. And I need to cut, I'm going to cut some pieces. Okay, so I'm just going to cut two of the pieces here to go on here. I could cut some of the minis in half, but there's plenty of side and there's nice thick side, so I find that you can do that. I'm cut a very, very narrow strip here for the M. And I'm going to try and get a very small piece for there, just so that it will hold up. Just cutting a oh, that might have been a bit small. I think it was. I think it had more cover on it than it did piece. Let's see if this has worked. Yeah, that'll work. Right, before I put that on, well, actually, I can put that on. No, I want to do this bit first. Oh, change your mind, Ellie. I'm using the Let Joy and then Bloom. And I'm going to stamp that in the Blackberry Bliss, which is this lovely deep dark colour that I've used. And this, as you know, saw was just a bit of leftover. I keep all my leftover pieces. I have this. And if you look inside, if I can show you, all those side pieces that are left over when I cut my card stock down, particularly the white card stock, I keep so I can use them to label. And that was just a Pringles jar that I used. Oh, let's see if I can do a better one down here. That's a bit better. So I'm just going to cut the ends off. I just need a small piece of this, and I'm cutting the two ends off. And we'll put a dimensional on the back. We'll use some of this side dimensional. Well, that might even be too long. We'll do that. Just to pop on there. Bring our card in. And I'm just going to pop this Let Joy over here on the middle of all those stems, so no one will see all the stems. And then I'm going to take the Bloom Oh, it's coming. Go over there. The bloom, one last bit to come off. I think that did then. Get rid of all those bits. God, fell on the card. And I'm going to put bloom. Get off my finger. Across here. So that's the front of the card. Let joy bloom. Morning, Liz. I'm a bit slack at looking at my note at the screen today. As I said, we've got our Zoom get-together for demonstrators around the world today, where we learn lots of new stuff, and it starts at 10 o'clock. So that's why I've come to you a bit early, so I can jump off and join them when I finish here. And that's the inside of the card, taking those flowers taking the flowers into the card as well as the background. Now, let joy bloom. That could be for a celebration. It could be for a birthday. It could be just to say, you know, have a good time. Let joy bloom on your trip. I think it's a lovely little saying. It means that you've got a card for any occasion you need it. And I quite like that. I like having cards on hand that you can quickly grab. So that's my card today. I'm going to turn you back to me quickly. Let's see if we can do it. No, I don't want to do that. I want to do this. Thank you. Get it to cooperate with me. I just wanted to let you know, remember that you can buy up until the end of this month. If you buy one suite, such as you like this suite, then you can buy a second suite at 50% off. Now that makes this a really good savings if you're buying two suites at the same time, because you could, if they're similar price, you're getting quite a whack off the second one. The 50% off is off the cheaper one. So if you're buying sets, try and balance them out and get the most of your savings. But yes, the sets are the suites, I should say. So the suites are on special. Buy one, get 50% off another, and that's till the end of the month. And that's why I'm showing you all these lovely suites, so that you too can make the most of any savings. Now, next week I won't be with you. I am going finally on holiday. When we went to Brisbane earlier this year, the family was supposed to come with me and we were to have a holiday and a little cruise. It didn't happen because of the cyclone. So we're finally managing to get away for 2 weeks. So I won't be live for 2 weeks, but there will be plenty of information coming up onto the screen, onto my page, and a lot to show you about more suites. I'm going to show you a couple more suites before the end of the month, so that you too can enjoy getting some suites. And if you're not sure, jump online, have a look on the online store. You can connect at the top of my page, or if you've got a catalogue, have a look in your catalogue. If you need a catalogue, let me know and I'll send you one. All right, you have a lovely day, everyone, and I will catch you in 3 weeks. But there will be, as I said, plenty of information on my page. And maybe I'll jump on and say hello from wherever we are. Well, we're in Queensland for a week and we're in Coffs Harbour for a week. So it should be nice and warm. I'm looking forward to it. Look after yourselves, and I will hopefully see you all back here next time I do a live. Thanks for joining me. Bye-bye.